What's going on, everybody? It's T Reaper and I'm back with another video. Shout out to everybody who watched my last video. I know that kind of seemed kind of, hypocritical or, harsh, but in the end, that's just how I feel, and, people honestly should just stop trying to bother me with PC crap. It's just getting annoying. But today, we're gonna talk about something so fun that I actually was kind of kicked from certain places for actually talking about this and actually doing this, so it was actually kind of fun. We're gonna talk about microtransactions and how the concept does not apply to tell your 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or 13-year-old to hold a gun to their head and say, "Buy me." Nah. Microtransactions are just another way for companies to make money. Now, does that mean that you as a person have to personally buy these things? No, it does not. They want you to, and they imply you to, but it's not necessary. People do it because they actually want to either beat the game faster, they want those loot boxes, they like those loot crates, they like all these cosmetic shit that, is addicting in games. Now, I'm getting really sick and tired, and I am so sick and tired of hearing this on YouTube, because everybody's saying, "Oh, microtransaction is evil, microtransaction is this, oh, microtransaction is gonna ruin our kids' lives." Well, A, if you're bitching about a game like Call of Duty, which is rated M, your kids shouldn't be playing that game anyway, so in reality, that's not really the case, I would say. Kids shouldn't be playing rated M games. That's why it's 17 and up. That's why it's for adults. Just common sense. I mean, please. So, for all of you YouTubers that are, saying microtransactions is just a way for, developers and publishers and, game companies to, rob the kid of money. One, if you're playing a game like Call of Duty or any rated M game title, any mature title in general, you should be at least 17 or older. And if you're not, you have parents that either don't give a shit or they simply don't care what content you see. But then eventually they give a shit when you hear something or people get sensitive over it, when their child starts, hearing things that they shouldn't be hearing about, or, kids start getting made fun of, and then people start to take notice and start to give a damn. I've seen that actually happen throughout my career on Xbox, and trust me, it does happen. It does exist. But you, the parent, are to blame for letting your kid touch this content. You, the parent, are to blame for letting your kids touch your credit card. You are to blame for letting your kids basically access this, this stuff. So, if all of a sudden your credit card goes through the roof because the kid bought over $1,000 in microtransactions on a game like Shadow of War, for example, but you, the parent, gave the kid the credit card, who's the faulty person there? It's not the kid, because the kid doesn't know any better. It's you, the parent, for you letting the kid use your credit card. You're at fault. That's called bad parenting. And at the end of the day, that's all this boils down to, because a smart gamer and an intelligent gamer knows these microtransactions aren't necessary. You don't need them to play the game. They just say, "Ooh, money, click. Ooh, money, click." No. In reality, this stuff is just a new way for companies to actually make money, and it's working. It's not going away. So, my best advice to people who bitch and moan about microtransactions is, guys, if the game that has microtransactions is rated M, kids should be totally evaporated from that, that cause of thinking, because kids shouldn't be playing these games anyway. If it's not a rated M game and it's rated teen, then the parents are to blame. So at no point in far is the kid at any point in time at fault, unless that kid is over the age of 18, has his own credit card, and it's his own money, and then it's a matter of choice, which is so fun. And you've heard me talk about choice before, so I'm not going to go too much into my personal opinion on choice. We all should have common sense in this era, in this wonderful government that we live under. We should all have common sense. We should all know that if a game IGN says is freaking about 60 hours, they probably imply without microtransactions. But if you use microtransactions, the game suddenly becomes 30 something hours because you bought your way to the finish line. Just common sense. So, most of the time, I can deal with people complaining and moaning, but in this time, microtransactions exist for new way for publishers and game companies to make money. It's not going away. Just deal with it. I beg you. Just deal with it. No one is holding anybody's a gun to any child's head saying, press this button. It is up to the person that is in charge of them to make, to educate them. Gambling is not a good thing. Gambling is not something that you want to get involved in. It is a bad habit. It is addicting. It's the parents' job to police their kids. It isn't the gaming company's job. Now, I won't say that microtransactions are not becoming more popular because they are. And I personally don't care. Because you know what? As long as it doesn't affect the core, when it affects the core amount of the game, I tend to give a damn. Like for example, here's a cool example: Call of Duty. Call of Duty. I am now prestiged. I am happy with it. I can now take my time prestiging to level 10, which is probably this is going to be the only COD that I have actually done this to. But the next game, which is next week, and some of you who have EA Access have already played this game, is Battlefront 2. That game has microtransactions, and it is a pay-to-win multiplayer system. I'm not going to be playing that multiplayer. Want to know why? Because I do not agree with uneven playing fields on multiplayer components. But I will play the story. I will honestly give my impressions on that story, and then it's off to a nice R&R vacation for Mr. T. Reaper over the holiday season. But I look forward to playing Star Wars, at least for the story piece. But the multiplayer, I'm good with Call of Duty for probably the foreseeable future. And then coming up in probably by the end of the month, I will give a mash of opinions of all my games that I had this season and which one was my favorite and why. Look out for that video. It should be arriving sometime after Star Wars launches. And, I look forward to doing that video because I'm going to have so much, stuff to talk about. I might even do a 30-minute video on it, just for kicks. But anyway, again, microtransactions, no, is not evil. No one is holding a gun to people's heads. It's a matter of choice. Please, parents, educate your kids to make the right choice. Make sure they have common sense. Make sure they are educated properly. It's all we can do in this world, right? This is T Reaper. I hope you enjoyed this nice Call of Duty gameplay, and I'm out. Peace.